Inside this facility, the race is on to win the world's most famous cryptocurrency before supply dwindles.
Bitcoin mining is very simple. Every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin protocol generates a random number. And essentially, all these computers around the world use trial and error brute force to guess that random number. The first computer to do so wins Bitcoin.
The Australian-owned company has 5 operations in the US and Canada. Its computers claimed more than 300 Bitcoin in February.
It's a really exciting time for us. You know, the price has obviously gone up 4 times in the last 15 months.
Russell Williams is also celebrating Bitcoin's revival.
We're super excited on the way forward.
The oil and gas worker and his colleague Andy bonded at work over their love of Bitcoin mining. They decided to move the computers out of their living rooms and into shipping containers in outback Australia.
So Andy and I put our heads together and said, hey, let's do this. Let's build our first farm. I think it saved both our marriages. And we were able then to really scale up in a big way.
Crypto mining expert Daniel Schlagwein says there are millions, if not tens of millions, of computers that are currently chasing Bitcoin.
You're competing with other Bitcoin miners around the world and their hardware costs, in particular their electricity costs. Generally, the best technology wins. It is a very tight margin in a very competitive market. If people envision Bitcoin mining as a genius get-rich-quick scheme, that's not at all the case.
Unlike the state-backed currencies like the Australian dollar overseen by central banks, the elusive founder of Bitcoin coded it specifically to operate in a decentralised way.
Bitcoin mining is really a process of keeping the Bitcoin network running. So you could compare it to being rewarded for running internet infrastructure.
Bitcoin's code also halves the reward that is given to miners roughly every 4 years. This so-called halvening is next expected in May. And one day, once 21 million Bitcoins are released, the supply will turn off entirely.
There is only 1.4 million Bitcoin left, which will be gradually released over the next 100 years.
Erin says that once the supply of new Bitcoins runs dry, they'll still make money off processing transactions on the Bitcoin network. Bitcoin's value crashed in 2022. Now it's back to record highs after US regulators approved exchange-traded funds for the cryptocurrency.
I think people are starting to realise it's not just a scam.
Although crypto skeptics still aren't convinced.
It's a speculative bubble, and speculative bubbles crash eventually. Mostly in speculative bubbles, the price ends up back at some sort of fundamental value. And the problem with Bitcoin is the fundamental value is zero.
Daniel Schlagwein says he's on the fence about Bitcoin's future.
We don't know for sure if this is going to collapse or if this is going to further to increase and effectively become a form of digital scarcity asset, same as gold.
A gold rush for some, but how long can it last?